Welcome to AfterCLIMB. So every year, this time of year, we seem to get a lot of questions about inventory counting. So I wanted to talk today about the tool to use for inventory counting with our system, not inventory counting itself. I've done AfterCLIMBs on inventory counting. There's a couple of them out there that you can refer to. But what I've never done is shown you the hardware that really makes this simple, and then how that hardware works, and a couple of other little things that I'm going to show. So this will be relatively brief, but I think a great tool to help you do inventory counting throughout the year, which is when you should be doing it, but year end if that's when you are doing it. So the device you see on the screen is the device that we sell. It's an Android device, but the key is that it has this pistol grip, and it makes it so simple because now you can just scan, count, scan, count, scan, count, and I'm going to show you how that works. So let's bring up the actual screen that we use for inventory counting. So I'm going to go ahead and sign in. So let's hit sign in here. Whoops. Okay. Now you have the screen that pops up with all the different little icons and apps. We're going to do the inventory counting app. And usually, and if you watch my other videos, you're going to see that I'm going to suggest you do a count set, and there's different ways to do the count set. It's called a snapshot and all these things. So you need to look at those videos. Today, I'm going to do just a really quick count a couple of items, and you can do that simply by coming to this screen and clicking OK. And now you'll see that I have this scan barcode section, and then just the quantity section and a couple of buttons. The beautiful thing is here that if you have your system configured correctly, and I was just in a site where it wasn't, but if you have it configured correctly, you just scan, hit the quantity, scan, hit the quantity, scan, hit the quantity. And you're going to see that happen right now. So let me go ahead and scan a barcode. Now, when I scan my barcode, it brings the cursor down here to this field, and it's hard to see that, but there is a cursor here. It's a flashing cursor on top of this 0. It also pops this number pad. Now, the store I was at recently, this number pad did not pop, so they had to physically go and put the cursor down here in the 0. When they did that, this popped. Then they put in the quantity. Then they hit the checkbox. Then they scan again. You don't have to do that if you're configured correctly. And I'm going to show you how to configure it after this. So if your system isn't acting exactly like what my system is doing, then we need to fix that for you. So I'm going to move my cursor out of the way. So well, put it back. So it's automatically come to where this 0 is. I'm going to move this out of the way. I'm going to, on the device, press 3. You'll see the 3 now, right here. The cursor's still flashing. I'm not going to hit add. I'm not going to hit plus. I'm not going to do any of those things. And I'm not even going to hit this checkbox. Okay? I am simply going to scan the next barcode. And in this case, I'm going to go ahead and put a 5. And then I'm going to do one more. And I'm going to do 4. Okay. Now, when I'm done, at this point in time, I'll hit that little checkbox down there to get me to the save and exit screen. And I'm going to do save and exit. Now, the next thing, the question I get all the time is, well, can I have multiple devices and can I have multiple people out there doing these things at the same time? And the answer to that is yes. So I've logged in with my user ID as 22. I'm going to go ahead and get out of this and come back. I'm going to log off, and I'm going to log in with a different user. So this would be somebody with a different device. Oops. Probably going, that's a crazy long login, and it is. And if you were watching and copying it down, it's still not going to do you any good. So now I'm going to go back into inventory counting. I'm going to different sheet, so I'm doing different barcodes here, and we'll scan right here, put in the quantity, scan another, put another quantity, I'm gonna finish off, say save and exit. Okay, so now let's deal with the first situation. So I said that if your device isn't responding that way and you're having to hit the number and hit the checkbox and all these things instead of just scan quantity, scan quantity, scan quantity. If you happen to do those things, then come over to master parameters. There are two options: parameters, master parameters. RF for radio frequency, the old devices. And then this particular auto add to quantity checkbox needs to be checked. And if you do that, then that number pad will automatically pop and you just scan quantity, scan quantity. If for some reason that isn't what ends up happening when you make this change, then just call our support line. Or if you want help, just call our support line and we'll get you set up correctly. Okay, now to show you how this looks on the back end with inventory counting. So we'll go to inventory control. Now, in my previous sessions, I talk all about snapshot and why that's important and so forth. But if you didn't do that and you just did what I just showed you, then we can just click OK to get in here. It's going to warn you that if you do your receiving first, if you have counted these items. So I'm going to go to the second screen by hitting F11 or F12, either way. Go to import, choose my Android device. And now you'll see this screen pop up. So now you'll see two different users. So I logged in as 22 first, and then I logged in as 2 second. So you could have 10 different people in a giant store if you had 10 of these devices, which I know is overkill. But if you did, you could have all 10 of those people out there counting. And then when it comes time to import, you're just importing whichever user is done and ready for you to import. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and say user 2. And even users could have multiple sessions. So let's say for whatever reason, the person logged out, left, came back, the next morning, you hadn't imported. When they log in again and do another session, you're going to have another session. So anyway, you have that ability. We'll go ahead and go OK here. Import. It's just reminding us that I'm going to go and finalize this one. And then if the other is ready to be imported, you simply come back to import. Okay. And I brushed over this, but you just read what it says. Please ensure that user 22 returns to the main screen on the RF unit or the PDA unit, and that they select inventory counting again from the main menu on the RF unit if they're counting more items. Failure to sort will result in loss of information. So it's just a basic reminder. We're done here, so we just finalize. Okay, so that's the most common question we get. And then the other piece of this was just making sure that that device is configured correctly so that it's, just really quick to use. Okay, if you do have questions or like I said, there's the other video on how to go about properly doing inventory counting, cycle counts, and so forth. It goes into good detail on that. If you have any questions, please give our support line a call. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.